It's February 1977, and I'm talking to my father, Hyman Mirels.
Yes.
How are you, Pop?
All right.
You feel okay?
Yes.
How old are you?
I am 87. 87 years.
That's
Going to be 88 April the 12th.
Well, you're looking pretty good for a man that's going to be 88.
I tried it.
Well, you know, I always ask you about where you were born in Poland, and I always forget.
Yeah.
So I have a map here, and maybe you can tell me again. You know, where was it that you were born in Poland?
Poland, at first place, in the time when I was born there, it was divided between three powers: Russia, Germany, and Austria. I was born on that part where the Russians had their part, their rules.
Well, what city were you born in?
My city was a little one, very little. Such a towns, it was a lot of them. That name of that city was Shena.
Shana?
Shena.
Is that like a Jewish word, nice? Shana?
In Jewish, you say shine. Shine means nice. But this must be a name of one of the fighters from the Polish people, somebody. His name must have been Shena. Every city or street in every country, in every place, everywhere, is named after somebody. So I figure that this little town's name was Shena, and it was named after someone. And years later, when I worked in Krakow, there was a big street also named the same thing, Shena. So I was wondering.
How do you spell that? Do you know?
Well, the spelling, I couldn't tell you exactly, but if you start to write it down, you'll see how to spell it. Shena.
Shena.
Yeah.
How big a city was it?
Exactly, it was a small town. This town was unfortunate like all others in that time. They didn't have a doctor. Even if they had a doctor, he couldn't stay, he couldn't make a living, he moved away. And the death rate was a whole great amount of people, especially young children. They died. Any kind of sickness that came, a lot of young children died. I remember when I was a young boy that in my house, one Friday after the other, a child died, 2 boys. And this wasn't only in our house. In that time it was no medicine like for the diphtheria. And when a child got sick, very seldom it could remain like.
Well, would you say were there like 1,000 people in that city or town?
No, a couple of hundred.
A couple
I
of
would
hundred.
say about 300 people, families, about 300 families.
How many were Jewish?
Well, in the city usually, it was very few Polish people. The Polish people had the outskirts, big long streets from both sides with Polish people, and in the little city, very few, only those who didn't have any land and they didn't have where to live, so they lived among the Jewish people.
So it was mostly Jewish people in the city.
In that little town, yeah. In bigger towns, it was different.
What bigger city was this near?
Well, I think Ostrowiec, with a population of over 10,000 people.
Ostrowitz?
Ostrowiec.
Yeah, that's like south of Rodom. Rodom was also near
Rodom was, in Poland it was divided. Gubernias, a gubernia, they had their own bigger people who work for the government on a higher scale.
Well,
like a governor.
Mm-hmm.
A governor.
And that was a different. Rodom was different than
because in a little town they just have little people to take care.
Okay, I'm looking at a map, and I think I found a city called Ostrowitz, and that would be the city you're referring to.
There I worked when I was. I'll come later to that.
Okay, there's another city.
Later.
Yeah, but there's another city here called Starachowitz. Would that be?
What?
Starachowitz. Does that sound familiar? Or Opatov? Apatov, yeah.
Yeah.
That's also near there.
That is, that's, I would say, from my little city, it would be 6 miles. That time, those miles.
To where?
To Apatov.
Apatov.
3 miles to Ostrowiec.
3 miles. Well, that sounds pretty good, because I think I can see where it is.
You're more interested in the.
No, I just want to make sure that I've got the right area, so I'm giving you other cities.
This is right. You could give me. There's some other cities.
There's like a Tarno-Brezig.
What?
A Tarno-Brezig or something like that. Sandomierz.
I forgot. There is one that they had people, when they were 21, they had to go and they choose from them the soldiers.
To register.
Forgot that name.
Of another. Well, maybe you'll think of it later. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask.
But this has nothing to do with me.
I know. I just I'm curious to know, where it is.
Oh, Drilch. That city, when a young man gets to be
draft age
21, and he is in the age of to be examined to be a soldier or not, the name is Drilch.
Drilch?
Drilch. Look around. Maybe you'll find it. Drilch.
Well, I don't see it. Was that near there?
It wasn't. It was on the other side, a different side, to the south or to the.
Okay, let me ask. Maybe I should ask you about where your parents were born and maybe the grandparents. How long did your family live in Siena?
I couldn't tell, if I went away when I was young from that city, and while I was very young, how could I know? I didn't have the chance to ask such a questions, and I couldn't answer that. Mm-hmm. And this doesn't matter. I think my father's father, came from a different town. Maybe in that time it was a Polish uprising, and maybe they made him move to another. Maybe he was because he came from Apatov,
Mm-hmm.
and from there he came to that little town. They send away people.
But that's not very far. Apatov was near.
Yeah, but it's 6 miles. It's 6 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
And there he settled. And his children, I suppose, married there. And I couldn't tell. I'm sorry that I don't even knew when I went away to find out my mother's second name.
You don't know your mother's second name?
No.
How
You
about...
see, I didn't think it's even necessary, so I didn't ask.
What, your father was born in that city?
I don't even know that. I know that I was born there, and other children were born there. But I don't know where he was born.
Did you know your grandparents? Like your
I knew my father's father, and I knew my mother's mother.
Mm-hmm. And what did your father's father do? Did he have some kind of a job, or?
He didn't have any job, and he was not any kind of worker. Whatever he used to go to buy by peasants little things or fix for them their fur coats. If it was torn, he didn't make a garment.
He
but
repaired.
I wouldn't ask this question.
He repaired clothing.
He picked up little like rags and other things, and he sold it.
That was your grandfather.
Yeah.
And
my father already started. He bought everything that the peasant had to sell: feathers, iron, every little thing that it was broken or they wanted to sell. So he bought and he sold to them things. And that's how he made a living.
How did he transport this?
He carried it on his back. If it was very heavy, they brought it to the city.
They would bring it to him?
If it was heavy, like iron. Later on, he bought himself a horse with a wagon. So, not in my time. That was later when he was older. But he used to go to the peasants. He couldn't carry very heavy things, but he carried the things back to the house, whatever he bought with him, little things. And this was his kind of a business.
How far would he travel? Did he go,
Well, he would go out a couple
10 miles? Or?
No. Miles. A couple of yours, 7 euros was a mile.
Uh-huh.
So let's say he walks out in a little town, little villages, little settlements,
So he mostly stayed in that area.
Yeah.
How about your...
Well, this, you see, it's all right to ask those things, so you know the up, you know,
the
from
background.
from where something comes.
Mm-hmm.
But there isn't much to tell.
What about your mother? Did she mostly stayed in the house and took care of
Yeah.
the house?
She was mostly in the house having children.
Mm-hmm. How many children?
I would figure that she had in her life before I was born. My grandma told me that it was 2 girls before. And they died after that I was born. And another boy, Frank, was born. And a couple more. And I think that it was their ignorance why the children died so much. Because it was something accustomed that poor people from one city, they came to another city, they just traveled. And if somebody was very good to them, they made them a place to sleep over. My mother was too good, and that's why she paid. She didn't understand. I try to analyze it, and I see that this was the reason of her tragic life, because she died young. She must have had, let's say, 2, 4, 6, but 7 children. And I think she died when she was 35. She wasn't 40.
Of these 7 children, how many lived? With just you and Uncle Frank?
Me and Frank.
Now what?
Because the youngest child, if it would be a city with intelligence, that a child remains without a mother, except the rich people, they could take in like a woman who could nurse the child. In that time they didn't know to give bottles, and even if they would know, nobody, because in the morning he went away to get something. So that child is a terrible criminal negligence from the family that they didn't take that child, and any way they could to save it. So
Well,
he died too, because
they didn't know how.
they didn't understand. They saw everything that God, it is the work of God. God also, and God also. And this was the tragedy.
What, when you said that these people would visit from other cities, and you thought that your mother was too kind? I mean, what? Is it because they would stay at your house? Or
they would stay in my house, they would stay in other houses, you know. It was a lot of poor people that couldn't make a living. They couldn't keep their families. I don't know from my city, but from other cities, they went around. What did they, to every house, what did they get? A penny, or they gave them a piece of bread, or they gave them a piece of sugar. And when they come to a house where a child is sick, they bring along the joints.
So you think that...
Not I think, I'm sure. I am sure that this was the cause that my parents lost so many children. Because my mother used to make him a place on the floor in order to sleep over.
So
sleeping cover.
she would welcome people. I mean, put them up.
They knew that if they come to that city, they go to this house. Others knew other houses. And they brought along, or when they went into a house where there was sickness, maybe that other child remained alive. Maybe she could fight through.
How old were you when your mother died?
I think I was about 8 years, maybe more, because Frank also remained. Yeah,
How much younger was Frank than you?
3 years.
Then
Maybe it was around 9 years.
did your father remarry?
My father married 4 times. My father was in such a condition. At first place, if he went out for business, and he came home, he would have to make himself something to eat, and that would make him sick, and he did get sick. And there's always in a little town like that, people die, most. They continue to die, either men or women. So there was always women that they would remarry. And he needed to remarry. And people in Europe, if there was an old girl, even if she was crippled, the family tried to marry her off. So the first wife was Izzy's mother. The first wife that he
The first time he remarried.
married. She was a girl. But she was crippled from, what do you call it?
Paralysis? Infantile paralysis?
She wasn't a cripple to creep. She was a crippled like a hand. Infantile paralysis, yeah. But
she couldn't use...
and a little bit, put a little bit, not too much. The face of it. And they were interested to marry her. My father was still young, tall, nice. And he married from Ragam, that woman. She had nice family. And someone who lives in our little town is a relative to them, and he made a match. So she came to my town, and she didn't have, because I was already about tailor. My father, I was only one summer that I didn't go to Haida, and he took me away to a tailor. I should learn a trade, tailoring.
How many other children? I mean, I know Uncle Izzy and Uncle Frank. Were there other children that your father had? Younger brothers and sisters for you?
Izzy had another sister. Izzy had a sister. I and my brother tried to bring into this country.
The sister?
the sister with Izzy.
Mm-hmm.
And that time the government, in that time I think Roosevelt was at that time. And they had very hard laws that didn't, we both, me and my brother was serving in the American Army, and we tried to, if you didn't have a house, a big house, or a lot of money in the bank, you couldn't bring nobody.
This is, Izzy was over here then, though, right?
I brought him over.
But you're
Me,
talking
both-
about
both of us.
bringing over the sister.
Yeah. The sister was one trouble. She would have come too, but she didn't know how to write. The tragedy there was that the government didn't take care that children should go in school.
Well, tell me, did you get educated at all when you were a child?
I went to Haida.
A
Haida teaches you everything in Hebrew, and you have to understand it. But when you go away from it, they don't teach you to write, not even Jewish. But if you give another a little money more, so the rabbi, you call him a rabbi, so he teaches you. He himself doesn't know too much. He teaches you in Jewish just to write a few words.
So what?
So I learned that.
Basically, you learned to read, and I mean that's what they basically taught you, to read Hebrew.
Hebrew, not read, learn it.
Well, what did you learn?
Learn Hebrew?
I mean, do you learn to write?
No,
Yes.
not to write Hebrew.
So you must learn to read
Read and explain.
and to discuss. You studied the Bible. Is that?
Yeah, Chemish. I learned all the 5 Chemish.
What's a Chumash?
The Chemish of the Bible.
You mean the 5 books of the Bible?
Yeah.
And
Not only this, a lot more. I was a very good. I mean it. I'm not breaking. Me and another boy. It was, let's say, a chayda. Not one. It was a lot of chaydas. Where I was, it was another young fellow, which was very sharp. Maybe his father taught him a little more, who knows. But anyhow, me and him and another fellow were the very good ones. In a chayda, you have to know who, what.
Mhm. What about Jewish? Didn't they teach any Jewish?
That's what I'm teaching.
Well, Hebrew.
Jewish, you don't have to be taught, because you talk to the mother, you talk to the father Jewish. But the only thing is, they didn't teach you how to write it. Except maybe some of them were luckier. Maybe their parents knew how to write. I don't know.
So how long did you go to a cheder? From what age?
Till 10 years.
When did you start?
Huh?
How old were you when you first
And
started?
you started when you were maybe 3 years.
3? So you went for like 7 years.
To send somebody, it is a little city in the wintertime with a lot of, I don't know how to call it, blotters, a blotter, When you walk in, it's like dirt. It's not.
Mud?
Yeah, not. Deep not. So he took he came and he took me on the plates. And I was young. What could you like?
Pop, after you went to the cheder, you said you went to a tailor? to learn the trade?
You know, not that I went, my father looked around that I'm not going over to the Haida and I don't do anything. So he took me to a tailor where he gave him a couple of 15 ruble in order to take me in and feed me and teach me how to learn tailoring.
Where was this?
This was just across the mark from our place, across the fellow that he lived there with his family. He had children the same age as I was, and they also tried to learn, and they also tried to work in order to live.
It's the same city.
The same city.
So you were like very close to your home, but you still stayed with the other family.
I stayed there.
Mm-hmm. Before I leave this question, I was wondering about the place you lived. Was this like a house? Or
Mine place where I lived, my father had a house.
How big was it?
Usually the houses there, it was a nicer house. I think it was it was made like, did they do when they were young? Did they play? Did they enjoy? So on.
Okay, Pop. What about the children?
What?
Well, do you want to tell me about the children and what they did?
I know that in my town, the children didn't have any kind of a play that they should enjoy, like
Games?
like swings or other things. The only joy that they had is one boy took a piece of rope and he was putting it on himself, and the other one was the one who drive it. So they were running. This was the exercise which gave him a chance to have a little joy. We never even had a ball that we should play with it. I don't remember that I should have had a ball or somebody else in my category of people. Maybe there was others in that little city where they lived, and maybe they lived better. I don't remember that.
Did the children help their parents or do work? I mean, you said you went to school. Did you spend most of your time in school?
Well, these children that went, the young children, they couldn't help. Maybe it was some people who had a small kind of business or something that the children helped. But what could you expect from children when they are before 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
It's true that a lot of people, I knew people even in bigger towns, that he told me that his mother, she was a widow, and she gave him away as for an apprentice when he was 7 years. My father gave me away as an apprentice when I was 10 years.
Well, you said the children didn't have toys, but
They didn't have any kind of joy.
So what did they do?
What did they do? They didn't do anything. Maybe they just did what I said, whatever they could, running. They didn't have anything that it should interest them.
So they did run, though. Maybe they had some games they would make up among themselves.
I don't remember that.
Well, we were talking about the house, the kind of house you lived in, and maybe how big it was. Could you tell me that?
Well, we had a house. It was 3 rooms spread. And before you go in the house, like a further house, like you would call it, well, I don't know what it is. A little room before you go in the house.
Mm-hmm. That's like an entry room.
Yeah. And we rent out 2 rooms to other people who didn't have anything.
You rented it.
Yeah.
They would pay.
Yeah. For a couple of dollars.
So that only
a quarter of a year.
Did that leave one room left for your family?
That's right. A big room. You live there, you bake, and most trouble is that we didn't even have a floor in that room. Only one room I remember with a floor.
So this was a dirt floor.
A floor.
It was dirt. It wasn't wood.
You took, after the vicar on Friday, you take off the dirt and you put up a little sand. It should look like nice. Maybe it was other houses nicer and different. But this is the house where I lived.
Well, do you mean that you and your brother and your mother and your father all lived in that one room, and that you cooked in that room?
We even had our grandfather living with us.
All these people in one room?
Yeah, it's a big room.
How big was it?
I couldn't
Was
tell
it as
you
big
now.
as this room here?
Oh, it's a lot bigger.
I see. This room is, I would say, like about 20 or 30 feet by about 30 feet.
All right, a room like that.
Mm-hmm.
In a corner was an oven and a place to cook.
Is that what other people didn't have that good?
Some others had better. Some others didn't even have that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that might be why there was so much sickness. You know, that there were so many people living together.
Well,
it's hard. If somebody has a germ, they could pass it on.
No, the germs. If it was a sickness going on for children, I wouldn't go. All right.
Well, do you want to talk about your apprenticeship to the tailor?
Yeah.
What?
The man who took me into line to trade, he had children. And I, together with them, lived just like I would be one of them. And they learned the trade and I learned the trade. And it was hardship for them, just like for me. But usually, I was a boy. They had girls and also boys. They were younger. And I was the one that they could fill out things to help the woman of that man, to help her out.
You mean you help
like
with the
in
housework?
house and other things. And I learned the tailoring too. I
So
remember she also worked out. I remember she used to go and wash her clothes, and it was winter, and I was taking it to her or bringing it home, and my hand got so frozen that when I came home, I was crying because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to work anymore. That's how the life was there. So she was sitting there by the water, winter, and washing the wash, including mine too. So this is the kind of people that we lived there.
Did they treat you well? You said they treated you like a member of the family.
They treated me nice, just like their own children.
Do you remember their names? I mean, the family name?
I don't think it's necessary.
You don't remember it, though.
I remember.
What is it?
The man's name was Yankov Shoel.
That Shoel was the second name.
No,
Now, what was their
Two
last?
names.
What was their last name?
I don't know. I
Uh-huh.
don't remember.
Okay, then how long were you there?
I was supposed to be there 3 years. But I was a little bit longer. And then I went away because I didn't like once that she talked about my stepmother, and she showed that some kind of that she showed about my stepmother that she is crippled or something, and I resisted,
Resented.
and I resented, and I showed her that she isn't so nice, and then I left the job, and I went away to Ostrovets. I ran away.
You ran away, or you just
Yeah,
went?
I ran away.
You mean that?
I just took in that time the holy things that young boys daven, pray, which I later I didn't need it anymore.
But that's the only
I
thing you
took it
took.
along, yeah. I took whatever I had.
Well,
I
weren't
didn't
you
have any.
worried about how you were going to live? Did you have a job already in this city, or?
No, I had an aunt there. And I went to my aunt, and from there, they looked for a job for me. I remember my uncle went with me. Well, he didn't find such a good jobs, but a little later I got a little bit a better job. And the better job was also not good.
What kind of jobs?
A tailor.
What would you be doing? Did you work in a shop, or?
It was like a little, I couldn't call it a shop, but a few people were working. And in the morning when the man, the boss, he had a little store with clothing to sell. Before he went away to the Smitherish where they daven, or to the shul, he sprinkled water on me and another boy to get up. We should get up.
Incidentally, what about, were people religious there? I mean, you, didn't get bar mitzvahed, I guess, right?
Because I got bar mitzvah.
You did? When was that? It was while you were...
When I was an apprentice. They didn't make bar mitzvahs like here. This is just, they just show off here. And they have money.
So then you just went to a shul and you had a bar mitzvah and that's it?
I went to a relative who was also teaching children. And that relative showed me how to put it on the things on the what you make you praying. And Otto, I didn't go even to not even to the shield.
So you mean you were bar mitzvah, this man just showed you how to do these things, and that was it? Were the people very religious in this town?
Most of the people in those towns are religious. Most, very few, maybe when they grow up and they try to understand. So they also keep, like in this country, like everywhere else, they go to shul or to church, even if they don't believe in it.
Well, let's get back to this job. What was the name of that city that you went to? It's Ostrowitz?
Australians.
And you...
So there already I got into better jobs, better kind of work, and I learned it. And when I was young, I tried to understand what it happens to us. I don't know if I should go in it, but it appealed to me. It was a lot of people who protested already against this Tsarist government, and I like to hear those people
how old,
talking about it.
How old are you?
I was
this
13,
time?
14,
Mm-hmm.
14, 15, and I was drawn in with others in that kind of a work. Even I didn't understand too much. So I was the delegate from the men tailoring, because there's ladies tailoring in a bigger city and men's tailoring.
So what were you a delegate to?
A delegate to take care that they shouldn't exploit them too much, that they shouldn't work too late in the evenings.
This is like a union representative?
Something like a union. But I don't think that this... Go ahead.
So, well, let's see. How long did you stay in this city?
I was there till 18 years.
Till you were 18 years old?
Yeah. Then, they made raids to arrest young people and take them to prison. Because the Tsarist government, they were afraid. And in those big cities, they started to make strikes and other things. So even a little town like Ostrowitz, it's not a little town. So they send in military, they call them Gendarmes and Cossacks and others, and they raided, I suppose everywhere there is a spy. Somebody spied on those people, and they arrested a group of people. After that, I didn't want to stay in that city. I went away from there.
Well,
I went to lodge.
You were afraid that perhaps you would get picked up by the...
Sure.
And
I was afraid because I was sure if I'm going to stay there, I'll be picked up.
What happened to the...
I associated with them, with the others.
What happened to those people?
They sent them in a prison. They kept them for a time. Young boys,
How old?
Young boys like me.
That's like 16?
16, 18, 20.
And did you...
Some women.
How long do you think they were kept in prison?
A couple of years, 2, 3 years.
Did you ever see them after they got out?
Yes.
Did they say that they were badly treated in prison, or...
It was no use to complain, whatever they did, as long as they came out. Because some others, they sent away on Siberia.
And when these people came out, did they continue to do these activities, or were they felt afraid to do it?
I suppose they did so. Because I went away to a different country already.
Mm-hmm. Now let me figure the time, Pop. You said you were around 16 to 18, right? And you were born in 1988. So that would be like
89.
89. So that's 11. This would be like in 1906, 7, and 8. You know, that period of time. In 1906, they had a revolution, didn't they, in Potemkin? Or wasn't there some revolution in Russia around 1906?
In 1906, I think, that was in Leningrad. Maybe it was in the whole country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe, is that why that the Russians were...
In that time, they killed a lot of people in Leningrad because somebody led them, and he thought that the Tsar is going to listen to them. I think I saw a movie just this week. Didn't I see a movie? Or maybe I saw it in my house.
Well, it wasn't here. It may have been in New York.
About the revolution, yeah. About the...
Was it the Navy?
Huh?
The Navy revolted?
Not exactly the Navy. You know, people, they started to protest. Mm-hmm. And he made one of them, maybe he was a spy, and he said that the Tsar is not so bad, and he's going to listen to you. And they brought the people down there, and they killed so many people. I think it was in 1908 or something.
I think, was that Nicholas and Alexandra? Did you see that movie? Was it about the Russian Tsar?
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
Yeah,
I saw it.
You see?
I enjoyed that. It was very good.
I suppose it's going to go further till they'll get him. The revolution is going to win, and they take the whole family away.
Well, the point I was making was...
Did you see the picture?
Yes. I saw something like it, if not that movie. But the thing is, in those days... And the point I'm making, Pop, is that in those days...
He wanted to go in the war, German.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's going to be like a mix-up.
Okay, okay, but the point I was making is that we were talking about the time you were talking about when you were like 16 and 18. This was around 1906, 7, 8, and this was a time of unrest in Russia when the...
After those arrests in Ostrovets, I went to work in lodge.
Mm-hmm.
Here it comes something that you said, it's very interesting. I went to lodge, and I was staying in my uncle's house. I had an uncle there, and he had children. And I got a job, and it was very far away. Naturally, I didn't get enough money to travel, take a bus, or take some other way. I walked, even it was a big distance. I remember when I once in an evening, after work, I washed my feet. Yeah. When I used to go to work there, I saw a place where they had, I don't know how to call it, where they hung up people.
They hung people?
Yeah.
Like a prison?
In a prison, but it wasn't too high up.
Or a square, or at least a gallows.
A gallows, they hung people. Every day when I went to work, I saw that. I saw the gallows. I didn't see the hanging, but they did hang there, people.
Well,
That was in lodge.
did you ever see people hanging?
No, I don't think so.
But you saw the gallows.
Yeah. But they did hang.
Mm-hmm.
They took him off. They did it at night time. Or very early. So I got sick in lodge. And I got a cold and I started to bleed. So I went to a doctor and he told me, young man, from where did you come? I told him I came from a little town. You want to listen to me? Go back to that little town and take a good rest and don't wake, and you'll be all right. So I listened to him. I went home. Whatever help I had there, I had a couple of rebels already. And I was staying there.
You stayed with your parents? Home?
Maybe I did stay with my father, or maybe I did with an uncle. Anyhow, I didn't rent myself a room. Whatever relative I had, they gave me a place to sleep and eat. Anyhow, I was there during a part of the summer, and then I decided to go to a place where people go when they're sick. And they call it Shamnitz. It was in Galicia. I had to go over the border
Into Russia?
into Austria.
Austria.
So there I had already friends that they ran away. Also that they, they also ran away from
The Tsar.
from the military. I mean, they were afraid they'll be arrested. And there we met. So I came there when I felt better, and I worked in Krakow about 2 years or 3 years.
So Krakow was in Austria.
Yeah.
And how were conditions there? Much different than in
Much different.
the Russian?
When I came there, I heard people singing, in the parks, songs that they were forbidden. It was different, I felt a little more like freedom there. And it appealed to me. So I worked there a couple of years, about over 2 years. And I went back because my father had a house, and at that time, if you have a child and he doesn't appear to before the boards there in order to see if he is fit for the army. So they take away the house. So I didn't want my father to lose the house. And I went back, and they inducted me in the army.
The Russian army.
Yeah. And instead of going to the army, I went away back to Krakow. And from there, I came to America.
So you were actually in the Russian army? And you were inducted into the army. Were you supposed to report for duty?
I was supposed to report for duty, but instead of to report for duty, I went away.
Did they And this way, your father could keep his house.
Yeah. And then if they miss somebody, they take somebody from those that they didn't accept before. You know, every section has to contribute a certain amount of soldiers.
So how old were you then? Was that
Then
18?
I was already 21.
21. So that's like 1910, around then.
Yeah.
That was just before World War
That's right.
One.
1910.
So you then went to Krakow?
I
Back
went
to Krakow. And how long did
Krakow,
you...
Yes,
How long were you there? For a couple of years?
about 2 years.
So now you were 23, and that was 1912 already.
Yes, so while I was in Australians, I had I made already a little money that I saved up. So my younger brother, Frank, asked me I should help him go to America. Because he was working with a fella who came back to Australia, and but in the shop where they were working, he told him about America, how the people are here. And he liked it, and he wanted to go. And he was younger than me, 3 years younger. But I felt in that time that it would be danger for him to be there, because he was the kind of a young man that he pushed himself in the front, you know, in the time in a revolutionary time. It's very easy to get either arrested or killed. So I decided whatever I have money, I'll give it to him. And he, after that, when I was in Krakow, sent me back money or a ship card to come to America. To America. I don't think it would be interesting, because...
Well, how did you get... You had to go somewhere to get a ship. Did you travel like to Germany, to Bremen, or...
To Germany. On the way I was arrested, but this doesn't mean much.
You were arrested where?
On the German border.
Because...
Yeah, from Austria. You know,
you needed a passport to get out. In order to come to America, didn't you need some passports?
Look out.
Or...
I didn't need any passport. The only thing I had to do is the ship card. And I don't think I had a ship card. I was supposed to buy it in Hamburg.
Well, why did you get arrested?
Because they arrest everybody. In order they take off, if you could wear the best clothes, they put it in and they sterilize it. They keep you till they sterilize.
Well, they really didn't arrest you in that sense. They just sort of stopped you to clean you up, or...
Twice they arrest you. And then in the morning...
Hold it. That on your way to the ship, you were arrested at the German border.
Yeah.
You really were like detained.
I was
detained rather than arrested.
I would say detained, yeah.
And they just
The
wanted...
police, something.
And they didn't charge you with anything. They just sort of cleaned your clothing and...
They let me go. And then about the clothing, then this was already by the ship.
Oh, but what about, when they arrested you, it's because you went to their country.
Because I went into the country without a permit or something, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. They didn't attempt to send you back.
No, they let me go further. I prove them that I have money to go away.
Mm-hmm. So you were in transit. Where did you pick the ship? Was this in Hamburg?
Hamburg. I went to Hamburg. Before you take the ship, they took away everything from you, and they still, let heat go up on it and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever there would be a sickness, so it would be it would be doing away with it.
How many? What would they had different types of passengers, like steerage and first class and everything?
Yeah.
Were you like a steerage?
Yes, I was a steerage.
So what?
I had my brother sent me a ship card for second class, but I sent it back to him. I don't know, maybe I wanted to go to a different city. But when I came to the ship aboard, it was no place on the second, so I took in a third class.
Mm-hmm. So how was the trip? Was it?
The trip was very bad because I wasn't used to go on a ship, and it took 18 days, while later people went 9 days with the ship to America.
Did you have a room that you shared with other people? Or did you live like in a dormitory or?
A lot of people were laying on the top, on the bottom.
Well, did you have a room or you just simply
Not
slept?
a room.
You just slept somewhere like on a
Just
deck?
like in a, what do you call it?
A big room? It's like a dormitory? Were you inside or out?
Inside of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You could be out, you could go out on the ship.
Mm-hmm. All right, so it was inside and
But
like
I was most of the time sick. I didn't eat because when I came in, they marked me because I was very pale.
So this ship landed on Ellis Island?
Ellis Island, yes.
So what happened there?
My brother came there and took me away. That's all.
How old you were now, like about what?
What?
What year was this?
I would have to go back in
It was like 1912, something like that.
No, it was 1910.
1910. Okay, so you were 22 or 21? 21. Okay, you were 21 years old, of course, because you were just registered for the Russian army, right? And you were leaving, so.
Yeah.
And where did you go? Did Uncle Frank have a house or a place that you could stay?
He lived in somebody had a room, and I was also there. And then we took a different room because it wasn't enough place. Usually in that time, single people took a room by somebody, and they were a border.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of borders in that time. You know, the people didn't make such a wonderful living. If they had an apartment, they rented out a bedroom.
So what part of New York was this?
Downtown.
Was this like the Lower East Side?
Yeah.
And did you get a job right away?
Yes, I got a job, tailor, and he paid me around $12, and I worked there a couple of weeks. It was when I came, it was the year that the triangle fire happened, and I was very much excited about it, that it could happen, things like that. And like everybody else, they didn't feel good about it.
So, I mean,
So nothing.
you
So
just
nothing.
remember that's something that stands out in your mind
That's right. That
of
was
that
the
time.
beginning. Yeah.
Well, was America what you expected?
Huh?
When you first came here, was it what you expected?
What I expected? I didn't expect too much. I worked.
Well, how did it compare to Krakow? The way people lived, you know,
To me, it came that a lot of people here, they came from all other countries. And the people were like cheap, While there, it was, the respect for people was a little better, because it wasn't so many. Here, they could just pick it like it. It was a lot of people going away from a lot of cities, a lot of places. They came here. And a lot of people, among them, if they understood what to do, they went into business. To businesses, a lot of them. They got rich. And those who remained workers, like was workers.
How many hours did you work in those days, a week?
I think we worked 9 hours a day.
How many days a week?
We worked 5 days, and I have a day Saturday, I think, when I came.
Did you have much of a social life? I mean, were there things, cultural things you could do?
Usually I came already to America as one of those who aimed in Europe that there should be a change. In other words, when we, the youngsters who did live in Poland or in other countries, they saw a struggle in order to make the life better. And people like that, when they come even to a country like America is, they are also joining people who are pushing forward to make betterments in life. So usually you look in the trade union for people who are protesting and explaining things in order to be better, in order to do things in a better way, that they should be more respected and so on. Even in the union it was necessary to fight the officials, and it was groups. I always joined people of such groups that they tried to advance for the people who live. Usually you went to lectures, and you join organizations and meet people. You try to read a paper that is up to your taste.
What union? Is this the International Ladies Garment
Yeah.
Workers Union?
That's right.
Did they have it then?
Huh?
Was it in existence then?
Sure. They had a big general strike before I came in. You see, in the place where I work, that man was once in America. When I wanted to go a little bit before, he said, "Why do you rush? There is a big strike there. Stay a little longer here. Work for me. And after the strike, you're going to go." The fact is, when I came, it was after the strike.
When you came where?
When I came to America.
I see. Well, how about was there a Jewish theater and things like that? Did you go much to that?
I went sometimes. Some people became very big patriots from theaters and so on. Some of them even tried to play, in the behind. No, that shouldn't cost them too much to go in. So I wasn't used. I didn't come from a big town where theaters are. Sometimes I went to a theater. Sometimes I went to a concert. I like to go to concerts.
Where were the concerts?
There was a lot of concerts. It was city concerts, and it was organization concerts.
Well, let's see. So what were you working in ladies' garments then, or?
Yes, I came to America and I worked right away. Let's see, 1 week I worked. Oh no. Yes, 1 week I worked for men tailoring. And I saw that I couldn't do nothing there. I couldn't make it. And I joined right away in the latest. Yes, I went to work a latest tailor, and then my brother took me to a shop where we worked ladies' suits and colors. And I remained that way.
So what was the next thing that happened? Was this, you go up to World War I?
Oh, about World War One. Yes, I was in the army.
No, this was after America got into the war. That would be 1916.
1917, maybe.
Yeah, 1917. So
I was drafted like other people. I was in the army. And once I was supposed to be sent away, I didn't feel so good and I remained. And somehow I remained. I didn't go on the other side. And when everything was over, I was discharged honorably, not so.
Mm-hmm. Were you like in the infantry?
Yeah.
What happened after you were discharged from the army? You went back to work?
Naturally, I went back to work. There's no other thing to do.
Mm-hmm. When is it?
Worked and worked.
When is it that you met my mother, Lily?
At first place, what year? Well, I met my wife in the ILCWU used to have classes after work in schools. Actually, they didn't have the classes, but they just wanted. The city gave classes.
Mm-hmm.
This part in the city, the other part in the city. I lived in the Bronx, and Lily lived in the Bronx. And from that section, they had, like in a school, the ILGW. I was reading that, so I went in this. I used to go in the evening schools as much as I could.
What were these schools in?
So the school was to teach you English, but others were more prepared, and others had school in Europe. And a lot of them had such a nice compositions prepared in the evenings, and they were reading it, and so on. So, and I also went and I learned a little. I met Lily there in that class. She had a good education from Europe. She had she said like gymnasium, something like high school. I didn't even have public school, I did. I just learned a little bit just in the evenings. But most of them came from bigger towns. She came from Bialystok. And there they had school. I suppose the parents had a house. And a lot of them who came from bigger towns had a much better education than I had. So I met after, usually everybody, when he gets older, he had already before. I had a girl, I suppose. She had boys before. But anyhow, we met and we decided that we should marry. And we married. That's all.
When was that? What year?
I think in 1923 or 1922. We kept company a little bit.
She was also working in the...
She was working on dresses. I was working on clothes.
How long had she been in the country? Had she come before the World War?
Oh, yes. Before World War?
Yeah.
One, I suppose so. I think so.
Okay, and then I was born, and then...
Usually you was born
in
a year,
24.
a little more than a year after we married. Because I decided I'm old enough to have a child.
How old were you then?
I was, I suppose, about 31 or 32 years.
And you lived in the Bronx?
Yes, I had a room. I had a room, a friend of mine, and your mother had a room for her sister. And as soon as we married, we looked for rooms. And it was a hard job at that time to get rooms. Somehow, where I lived in the same house, somebody gave up the rooms, and I got them.
Was this a suburban place?
That's right, on suburban.
Well, I remember that area. I
I
don't remember being
don't?
born there, but
No.
I remember
What?
in later years, it was sort of near Cortona Park,
Yes.
and those were big they were like 5, 6
I
story.
don't know I don't know exactly how you would have known it, except if I would take you there
Well,
and
that's,
talk to you.
maybe you did.
It was very nice. The section was very nice. I always liked to be in the outskirts. And the park was right near the house, just a few houses from the park.
Mhm.
And you was born there, you know. You
I
was
was-
born in a suburban place.
You mean I'm not in the hospital?
In the hospital, yeah. But I mean,
But that's where you were living then.
yeah. Yes, you was born in hospital. In that time, nobody wanted to
So,
have.
Rita was also, when she was born, were you living there?
No, Rita got born in Borden.
So what you,
10,
1026. I remember that.
Borden.
So what you did is you bought a house in partnership?
That was, well, I don't think it's something, it's better not to talk about it, but all right, in that time it looked like it was terrible because mother got sick and she died, but losing in that time it looked like I lost a whole lot. But if I look back to it, it's actually nothing, because I had so many other losses, which I got used to it.
Well, you're referring to the fact that you had, in partnership, you had a house with, was it the Levines? That
It was a house with her sisters, with her sister's husband, and they took advantage. It was a bad time. He didn't work, he was a bricklayer. But anyhow, they could have done something better than what they did. But I forgave him already a long time. Maybe they thought that they are right, who knows.
So, at any rate, Rita was born when you lived
Rita
there.
was born when I lived in 1026 Warren.
Mhm.
Yeah. She was born in the Bronx Hospital.
And mother died while we lived there. And then,
And for her, we didn't have, what do you call those doctors?
for who?
Doctors that take children.
You mean an obstetrician?
Yeah. For her, we didn't. She went to that hospital, and that's all. We took care. But for you, we had a doctor there in the other hospital, the Jewish hospital.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. I guess from there, Rita and I went to the orphan asylum.
Yeah.
After that, I remember pretty much what happened.
Huh?
I think after that, I know pretty much what happened.
What?
Well, I mean, from there on in, I remember
You remember what?
everything, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah, you could edit.
So I don't have to get your information, I guess.
I don't think you could remember everything. Go ahead.
Well,
You wasn't a long time in that. The first thing is that you was under the care of Mrs. Paulie.
Weber, yeah, I
Weber.
remember. I was boarded out, right?
Yes.
And I didn't stay long in the
So
orphanage.
in the orphanage you didn't stay long. You was staying there. I don't remember exactly how much, but I think maybe a year
Mm-hmm.
or more.
I was about 6 or 7 then,
Yeah.
and Rita was like about 3 or 4.
Yeah. And he was living
Well, let's see. Let me.
with
I forgot to ask you about Uncle Izzy. And when did he come over?
The trouble is that if you ask him, maybe he knows. I don't remember. I was already engaged with Lily, and I think we
So
went
this was after the war already.
after the war. I remember we went on a boat to see him or something. And I think in that time I wasn't married, and my brother was married. So he lived with him for a time. Well, I don't want to go in that because I don't know.
Go in what?
Go in about my brother.
Your brother Izzy?
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, remember there was this question about the name?
About what?
The name, whether it's Mirels or Mirels?
Oh, Mirels. Well, about this question, my sister-in-law, Frank's wife, she thought maybe Mirels is not nice, and somehow he agreed with her, and they changed his name.
They changed Uncle Frank's name? No.
Yeah, it's Frank's and also Izzy's.
Well, when Uncle Frank came to this country, did he spell his name the way you did?
Naturally.
It was Mirels.
Yeah, but this is the regular name. This I have a passport. Something like that.
You mean from Europe?
Yeah,
And Uncle Frank had the same name.
same name.
So then what happened is that Uncle Frank,
When he married, I think she
the
did
wife,
it.
they had changed the
changed.
name.
I suppose she thought that this is not a nice name. Something, I don't know. And naturally, so they both, and Izzy lived with them, so he also changed.
So they changed it to Mirels.
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 Mirels. In other words, the meaning of Mirels is mere
It's me.
alles.
It's to me everything.
Yeah, Mirels.
Does the word
Mirels is a name like Miro. I think I told you already.
You mean it's a girl's name?
That's
like
right,
belonging?
a woman's name, yeah. A woman's name. That's what I make up. I couldn't, if I were talking now with my grandpa, maybe he would agree with me, or with my father. But this is what I made up. Miro.
Are there many?
Mirels.
How many people in Europe have that name?
You know that in America you have a very small amount. A very small amount. There is a few Mirelses. Once my Fanny told me that somebody called up a student and he asked for Harold Mirels. But he actually called another Harold Mirels and this is a family, because if this name exactly a Harold, it goes after people die and the others who come, so they give him the name Harold. I mean, it could be a different name, anything. So, and once a fellow told me that somebody gave in a note in the paper that he looks for that name. If anybody is the name Mirels, they should come and see him. So I went there, but till I went, the man died. And the children didn't know anything about it. So this was a family in Brooklyn. And they're still there. So there was a few. And some of them lived in the Bronx.
They spell the name,
And they
it's
spell the
Mirels.
same name. And
And
the same name.
They're from Poland.
The child is the same name, Harold. So it's the same family. But then somebody called like from a wedding. What do you call those who prepare?
A caterer?
Caterer. A caterer from a wedding called, and he called our name, and he said we should come or something for the. I think I did a wrong thing. I didn't go. You know, we were not invited to the wedding, but to the other.
To the reception. We were talking about people with the name Mirels who may be relatives, and you said that you were invited.
Relatives, but
Yeah,
we don't
you were
know.
invited by
A caterer.
to come to a reception of
Yeah.
a family
Yeah.
called Mirels.
Yeah, Mirels.
Why didn't the people themselves didn't invite you?
No.
Well, why wouldn't they? I mean, that was kind of strange.
Maybe because they themselves, I'm trying to talk for them.
Uh-huh.
When you ask me a question,
Maybe they felt they didn't know you.
maybe they thought, well, let's get acquainted, let's see the people.
Mhm.
But maybe Fanny would be insulted. Why didn't they invite us? But we should have gone there anyhow. We didn't go. If he would have gone, if he would say to the caterer, we're coming, they would meet us and we would get acquainted. But we didn't go. So that's how but when I was in the union once, and a girl that works in the union health center, and I gave her my name. She says, the same name as you have, there is a store that I have in a certain place, a certain station, art articles.
Mhm.
And she gave me the address, but I never went.
How about in Europe? How big a family did you have there?
In Europe we had a family, all from my mother's side. From my mother's side it was 3 more sisters, another family, From my father's side, it was nobody.
Well, that's where all the Mirels people would come from, would be the father's side.
That's right.
So there weren't
But
too
there
many
was
Mirels
nobody.
even then, even in
No.
Poland.
No. Maybe they came from somewhere. Maybe they are. Anyhow, I don't remember anybody in the family from my father.
That's why you think he came to this region from somewhere else.
Yeah,
Or his father?
yeah.
His father
His
did.
father, let me tell you something. in Europe, among our people, nobody reads and knows a different language. I used to go up sometimes on the attic, and I try to look in what do you call those boxes?
Trunk?
A little trunk. And it was books, other languages. And I saw my grandpa a lot of times sitting there and reading it, if I went up and read it. So I came to the conclusion, and I remember he was very learned in writing numbers. He used to write a whole place of numbers. And to tell you, till today, I was a child, I didn't understand. If I would have asked him, he could have taught me. I think he was very good at mathematics.
This is the grandfather?
The grandfather. My father wasn't too much learned. He was. He was reading other languages, but it must have been Polish or German.
So you think that
So I think he was a
that the
learned person.
grandfather was educated and he probably came from some other region?
Yeah. And because these people came from the other regions, so I make up my mind that they came from there. Izzy told me that our father once went to those family in Abt or somewhere else. He went with them. I don't know.
So actually, on your mother's side, there was quite a few people,
Yes,
but they remained in Europe.
Viking people, shoemakers. They remained and they were executed. After Hitler, nobody remained. The war, the First World War, chased them all out from that little town, Shannon.
The First World War?
Yeah.
You mean because of the battles, or
Of the battles of other things. They binded up all things.
it was during the war there was fighting there?
Yeah, they pointed out.
Who's
pointed
the
out.
they?
The Germans.
So then,
Nobody remained there.
you think that town exists today?
I don't think so. Because it was burned up and the Jewish people didn't come back to it. And who took it over? The Christians. Pieces land and everything.
So, the family, did you ever correspond with your relatives, between World War I and World War II? Did you know where they were?
Yeah, some of them. After the First World War, they remained there.
But they moved to other cities.
No, I think they remained there.
You said in Shana, though, that was burned out, right? So
a
they had to
lot,
go.
A lot of them, yes.
So they had to go somewhere else.
Mhm.
So did you write to any of them, or did you ever correspond?
Yes. I think they were in Ostrovets. They came to Ostrovets because it's the nearest town with more possibilities.
Mhm. Well, you say that they all died. In World War II, you said they died in World War II? I mean,
World War II, they all were.
how do you know that none survived?
Because nobody ever knew about somebody. They executed They took away from a lot of cities to the death camps.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you tell me, isn't there a Leo or
What?
a Leo or a Lo?
Yeah.
Who was
Yeah.
that?
That was the youngest brother. My father married the fourth woman, and he had a son with her. You know, his circumstance was such. I'll tell you something. Any man or woman who remains by himself is a murderer himself. No good. In that time especially. My father, if he was alone, so he met a woman and got married. The woman is alone. And whatever he makes, they could both live. So he had with her, this was the last child that he had. If I take a good figure, my father must have had maybe 11 or 12 children with all those women. One of them, he
But the
died.
numbers-
He married one girl that they wanted to marry because she's a girl. She going to remain a girl. It's a great mitzvah, you know. That, with how he lived such a short time, I suppose she must have had a heart disease or something else. And she died very young.
Well, let's see. Out of all these children that he had, the only ones that lived, though, were you, Frank, Izzy, and this boy. What was his name? What was the
Which one?
last one?
Leah? Libel?
Was it Leo? I mean, what?
Libel.
Libel is the
Yeah,
Hebrew,
Libel,
Would-
it is like from a lion.
like
From a
Leon.
lion. Yeah.
Leon. It's like
Leon, Libel or something.
or Leo or Leon, Libel.
Yeah.
Okay. When was he born?
He was
Where
born
were
the
you?
last-
Where were
The
you then?
last one.
Where were you then?
What do you mean?
I
what?
mean, were you then in Krakow in the United
No, no.
States? In other words,
I
why
was here in
you
America a long
you
time.
were here in America a long time. So that was. Were you married when he was born? Was it that?
I'm sure I was married already.
So that's in the 1920s. So did you ever write
I
him
think
or
I
communicate?
think Izzy remembers because he was there.
Did he communicate?
Yes, she wrote me letters. And I tried to, what I could.
Was he trying to get to the United States?
Sure. There
So
was
what?
no chance.
Why not?
All right, it was no chance, that's all.
Was he sick or he couldn't write or was there some
I don't know.
problem?
Maybe he couldn't write. He told me in a letter, maybe I still have some letters. He served in the Polish army. Poland was already a country after
World War One.
yeah, became a country. And he was a soldier. He served. But when he came home, and if he would want to go out in the evening, you know, they had hooligans that they were running after Jewish boys. They would hit them. And these are the people now, they would want back Poland on their hands, the fascist hands. This is the element.
So he
And he wrote me that.
So what was he? Did he marry? What happened at the
He
start
married.
of World War
Sure, he
II?
married. He married, and my sister married. The sister we couldn't bring, so we sent to home the money that we did buy cards for her and everything. So we sent her $200, and she got a nice fellow she married, and he was making baskets like from straw, and it was very stylish, and he made good. So Hitler came in, and she had 2 children with the man. And that fellow also married. And we got him in the picture from his girl.
So who was that fellow? I mean, you say your sister, Leibel married, and your sister married. I forgot when was your sister born? Was she wasn't before? You said you were the first.
She is younger than Izzy.
Uh-huh. After Izzy came a sister.
Yeah.
What was her name? Do you remember? Reisel?
Yeah.
And then after
she was
Reisel?
A beautiful girl, with a smile, beautiful. But they neglected. She didn't learn to write. That's all.
And then after
and
Reisel?
She was by a family a little time in Rodham that they could have given her an education. Well, yes, that's such a wild it was.
When was she was born? Also, like in the 20s, after?
Oh, before the 20s.
Before the 20s.
When I was in Europe yet, she was already. I remember her. Oh.
So Loeb was born, or Leibel was born after. Well, he was born late.
A lot later.
A lot later. But Reisel was born earlier.
Oh, yes, Reisel. Reisel was born, Izzy's mother.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
I see. So she was Izzy's sister.
I would say... I don't know exactly. I was yet in Europe, and she was a little girl, I remember.
Mm-hmm. So we named Larry after Leibel, actually, I think, among other people. And maybe was Rita named after Reisel? Or,
Huh?
I mean, who, the names, like, when I was named Harold, was I named after your father?
Yeah.
He was Herschel?
Yeah.
And who were you named after?
Me?
Yeah, Hyman.
I suppose, I don't know, maybe my mother's father or somebody. Hyman.
Who was Rita named? Was Rita named after anybody in particular?
Rita's was named after your mother's mother.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I tried that mother should give her a name like Rivka Esther. Esther was my mother's name, and I couldn't get by her. I couldn't. I mean, that's what, and it was stylish. It was stylish to give 2 names.
Mm-hmm. Well, Rita's a nice name.
What?
Rita's a nice name.
Yeah.
And one name is...
You think Esther is not a nice name? Esther is a beautiful name because it's international.
Mm-hmm.
Every nationality they have an Esther. All right. A middle name is something.
Well, that doesn't matter too much.
No, it doesn't. I'm not crying about it.
So after the war, you had never heard from Leibel, right? I mean, that's... Or from... what was the sister's name?
Reisel.
Reisel.
And...
So what happened is you didn't hear at all from them or their families or anybody.
if they would have lived. But they did away with not only with that. I couldn't call them smart, you know. Those people who ran away, they left their wives, their children, and they ran. Would you call them very smart?
You're talking about people during World War II who ran?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there were too many of them. I think most
They
people
did.
would stay with their family.
You see, that's what I figured. I figured because they loved the mother and the wife, so they didn't try to run away if they couldn't run, both of them.
Okay. All right, one thing I want to get straight, Pop,
Yeah.
is that your father was called Herschel de Lange.
That's right.
Why?
Herschel. De Lange Hersch.
De Lange
Not
Hersch?
de Lange. De Lange Hersch.
Is that what it was
De
called?
Lange wat? De Lange Zag.
He says the Lange Hersch or Herschel de Lange?
No, de Lange Hersch.
The Lange,
That's what they
why?
called
The
him.
Lange Hersch means the longer Harold.
De Lange means de Lange Hersch.
Well, why? That means there were several Hersches.
Huh?
That means there were lots of Hersches around.
It was no.
Well, was he the only
It was
Hersch?
the only.
So they called him the Lange Hersch.
That's right.
That makes it sound...
Maybe they could have. Maybe there were other people also Hersch. Little people,
It would seem so. Otherwise,
I suppose so.
the Lange Hersch means
The
the
Goyser,
bigger, the
the
bigger,
Goyser.
the bigger.
The
That
long
mean-
one, the longer one.
Well, doesn't it mean bigger than, rather
Yeah, the
than
longer,
big?
Yes, long one. The long ones.
Well, how big was he?
Well, I think he was maybe a little higher than you. I don't know. He was tall.
So was he taller than most people there? And
But
most people were not very tall in those
small,
days.
mostly.
So he was exceptional in being big.
Very, very few that there were tall people. Very few.
Did this help him?
But he
in-
was the highest. And the Polish people, you know, the one who lived in among the Jews, they called them Pultora Judek, which it means ice and a house.
1.5?
Yeah.
You mean, I think you once said this meant a Jew and a half.
Yeah, 2.5 it means.
That's,
In other words, it's as big as 1.5 Jew. Listen, there's all kind of names to call it. And,
so how big was your mother? Your mother wasn't particularly
no,
tall.
no.
So the fact is, though, that lots of your children and grandchildren are tall. So
Yeah.
they must have gotten this from your grandfather, from your
That's
father.
right. That's right. Rita has big children. The other Rita has big children.
We have big children.
And Faye has big children. Well, Faye's husband is a tall fellow.
So we can't blame everything
No,
on Herschel.
you don't have to blame nothing. You don't have to blame. It would be a nice thing if I would have brought him. He wouldn't live now, but he could have lived in America a long time. Yeah.
When did he die?
He
How-
died because if they burn your house, you haven't got where to live, you haven't got where to eat, and you get to be alone, you get sicknesses. happened, and he was sick, and they took him to a small hospital there. Izzy tells me, in Ostrovets.
Talk into the microphone. Okay, so when this was like while Izzy was still there, or?
We'll break up.
Okay. I just kicked the plant and my father told me not to. All right, Pop.
Yeah.
Was Uncle Izzy still in Europe when Herschel died?
Yeah.
I see. So
Yes.
that must have
Because
been
he died in the First World War.
during the world
During
during
the war.
during the war. I didn't realize that. So where did Uncle
Yeah.
Izzy go? I mean,
He lived in Ostrovets that time. This is a bigger town they didn't destroy.
so
and my
they
father also lived there, and he got sick. And I suppose a friend of his, one with a felcher, like a little doctor, he put him in that hospital, a small community hospital, where he died.
how old do you think he was at that time?
I couldn't tell exactly. I would say maybe he was in the 50s. Exact, I couldn't tell.
Pop, you use some Polish words. Do you know much Polish?
I could understand when somebody talks to me Polish, but I forgot to talk myself Polish.
When you
I
were
actually learned Polish when I was in Krakow. I knew a lot of words when I was in my little town, because we meet a lot of Polish people. But there, actually, I took lessons of Polish.
in
and
Krakow.
in Krakow, and I learned a little about it.
So at that time you spoke Yiddish, Polish, and Hebrew.
No
Maybe.
Hebrew.
No, you can read
I
Hebrew.
I couldn't even talk no Hebrew. They
You
learned
can,
me Hebrew.
you can read it, but you don't understand it.
Yes.
Is that right? Did you understand Russian too? Or was Russian and Polish close?
Listen, in my town they didn't talk Russian. I understood a few words. It doesn't pay even to talk about it.
Did the Polish people know any Yiddish?
Some of them, those who worked and learned a trade, like by a tailor or another trade, they learned Jewish just like the Jews would talk, just the same. I remember one, a young man who was learned to be a tailor, and he taught Jewish very good.
So the Polish people in which you had contact with really didn't have any ill feelings towards the Jews, I suppose.
They had some of
did?
them, mostly those who lived around the city. A peasant, to the peasants, the Jewish people, they didn't have anything to them. You know.
They didn't? You
No.
mean?
Except, everything that happens when you have somebody to ferment against somebody.
Well, I didn't follow you. When you said these people, the Polish people living outside the city, what was their attitude? You think
I don't think
they didn't feel one way or the
No,
other, or?
They were not enemies. They didn't say, Jew, go to Palestine. Like a lot of them who lived in the city, they didn't have, they were poor, And maybe they blamed their condition on a Jewish person.
So
And
you
the Jewish person was the same thing like them, also poor. But it was an excuse for them to give away a little hate from his heart to somebody else.
Pop, is there more you can say about my mother, Lily?
She was a very delicate person. She had a high education because she came from a big town, and when she came together she wrote such a beautiful compositions. I was looking for them. I don't know where they disappeared.
They were written in English. You mean
English,
in the
sure.
night school?
It's sure. She went to night school and she did take over very quickly. You know, a person who goes to a school and he gets an education quickly takes over the language than a person who never went to a school. And she did go.
I remember you said she liked to read. Was it Theodore Dreiser or there was some?
She read a lot of books, English and Russian, and she read most the very classic books from the Russian writers.
Would she read them in Russian or in English?
In Russian.
Because she was fluent in Russian.
She was educated there.
How about that she was fluent in Yiddish too, or?
Oh, she was Yiddish too. She knew Yiddish and English good. Yeah, that was.
I remember you introduced me to a woman who went to school with Mother.
That's right. She
lives in Co-op City?
She lives in Co-op City.
What's her name? I forgot.
Her name is Annie Fine.
Annie Fine?
Annie Fine.
She has a picture that has Mother in it. A whole, their class.
From the class, yes.
I wish I had a copy of that.
What different is it? If you have a copy from a school, I could give you a lot of pictures here.
Well, that's an interesting picture, and that's
interested. Because a lot of children are there.
Well, you don't have anything that goes back that far. You have pictures of when, after you met Mother and when you got married, right?
But she had pictures.
Oh, she has pictures of herself?
I think so.
You still have those?
I think so.
I hope you hold on to them. You've got a habit of handing pictures out to people, and I think that's bad. I mean, you know, you should keep it together, because if you give an isolated picture to somebody, it may get lost. I think. I'm sure you gave me some pictures, or...
For what?
I forget, but you gave me some and you gave Rita some, and I'm not even sure where they are.
Oh, you don't know?
Well, I have some here, but I don't know that I've got all of them.
I know I had a picture for myself. I have to, you know. I had a picture, and
there were some more questions I wanted to ask you about my mother, Lily, and about her life in Russia. Did you say that her mother had remarried? You know, that...
Her mother was a widow, and she remarried the man that they gave birth to Lily, and it was another girl, Table.
Table?
Table. Like a, And
Is there an English? Is there an English equivalent to that?
like a dove.
A
Like
dove. Oh, it's like a Hebrew name for dove.
Pigeon, a pigeon.
A pigeon. I see.
So, and that son, Saul,
And Saul.
and Saul.
I see. And her mother had a child, though, by the previous marriage.
That's right.
What was the name of her first husband?
Lipsky,
Lipsky.
yeah.
And what was the brother's name? Do you remember?
I did remember and I forgot.
Okay, you don't remember.
I forgot the name I knew.
You knew, but you forgot. Okay, now what happened to these brothers and sisters? Did they all come to America?
Not all. The girl died in Bialystok.
Or Tabel?
Yeah,
She remained?
She remained, but no, she didn't remain. She died when the father and mother was there, and Saul.
In other words, she got sick.
She got sick and died.
Do you know how old she was?
She was around 19 or 20
Oh,
years.
that's a grown girl.
Yeah,
Was she's a younger sister to Lily?
her younger sister, yes. The next to Lily.
And Lipsky and Saul Ephraim. Ephraim is the name of the husband, the second husband.
That's right.
And that's mother's maiden name is Ephraim, right? Was Lily Ephraim?
That's right.
Now, so Saul and Lily came to this country.
Yes. And the other brother
And
was here a
Lipsky,
long time before.
Lipsky had come.
Oh, it was another child, a sister to Lipsky.
Lipsky, yes.
Yes. Her name?
Did she come to America too?
Sure, she was before
Even before.
Lily came.
hmm
Rebecca.
Well, Rebecca is pretty good. Lipsky.
No.
Then she married, and she had another name that you're trying to think of.
Yes.
So they all came here.
Telling you.
They came before World War I. They were already here
Yes.
during
yes,
the war.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And what?
I think that, no, just a minute. Saul came after the First World War. But Lily was here.
Now, did these people marry and have children?
Yes, they all married. Jack was the name of Lipsky. Jack.
Jack Lipsky.
Yeah.
Yes,
And he has two children.
2 children.
Yeah.
Do you
a
know-
son and a daughter.
Do you know where they are?
I don't know. After mother died, I did see him very little.
You didn't see much of Jack or the children?
Yeah. But Jack died also not a long time after Lily's died.
He was relatively young also when he
He was,
died?
he was young.
Well, he was older than Lily because
Oh,
he's an
yeah.
older brother.
Yes, he had 2 children growing up.
So do you know anything at all about the children?
I think the daughter was a teacher and the son, I don't know what he became. His wife's name was Rosie. And when your mother was sick, they kept you there about 2 weeks. The mother was in hospital.
I don't really remember that.
No, you couldn't remember.
Well, I was about 6
Maybe it was about 6 years.
at that time. Now, Saul, you have seen, though, over the years.
I've seen him a few times.
So what kind of work did he do?
He was a carpenter, a well-paid man.
He worked in the building trade?
He worked in the building trade.
And what about his children?
It looks like he gave an education to the girl. I think she became a teacher. And the son, I don't know, he told me that his son, when the president in that time was
Johnson.
Johnson, that how he got the recommendation to put on his shirt and see that his tie should be very well matched to the suit and to the shirt, and he made him the tie.
I remember.
That's what he told me.
I remember. I think I was there. We.
But I don't remember that.
Do you remember meeting Saul in Bronx Park?
Oh,
you
right.
arranged.
Oh,
you arranged.
You're right. You're right.
You arranged
You're right.
for us to see him there.
Yeah. We just met him there,
and
we walked around.
And that's when he said that his son.
Yes.
Was in the, provided shirts and ties, sort of was in that business, and that he was a consultant to President Johnson, and that when Johnson appeared in a TV program or so, that the son, would go and provide the shirts and the ties so that Johnson would look well. You don't remember the son's name, though?
No.
Not the first name?
Not the first.
Well, maybe now that Carter is in, he's doing the same thing for Carter.
Maybe he did it to the other presidents, too.
Mm-hmm.
Next time I'll see him, I'll ask him.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
I'll try to find out about Lipsky's children, if I could get through to find out their address, the mother's address.
It might be interesting to know, if they're living in New York or maybe they're even in California.
I think the daughter married to a different state, a young man, but I don't know exactly where. I'll let you know.
Okay. I remember when Lily's father visited us when we lived in Ward Avenue. Do you remember that? Do you remember a visit?
I lived in Ward Avenue.
Yes.
And he visited us there.
Yes.
But he lived in a different place. He took, I think in Boston Row, he had rooms. Not far from us.
Were they visiting here, or had they emigrated to America?
They immigrated to America because they had the children here. They had nobody there.
Mm-hmm. This was like in the early 30s, when I must have been about 3 or 4.
Yes,
so maybe it was like 1928 or 29.
And the grandmother died in that time.
While they were...
Actually, she got sick and she came to Mrs. Levine. Levine was the name of Rebecca. Levine.
Levine?
Yeah.
Let me think. Now of course, that Rebecca and the Levines are the people who lived with you in Ward Avenue.
That's right, we were partners. We were partners in the house.
Mm-hmm. And so Rebecca's children, one of them is this Lily and Lara who wrote me.
That's right. There's another one. One died.
Hmm. So they're
I
the
forgot already the other's name.
okay, but so Pop, you got a pretty good memory, I would say. So I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, so tell
You
me,
think I wouldn't remind myself?
you will.
You know, it goes away a little, I remind myself.
So tell me about, so what happened is that Lily's parents emigrated to this country in the late 1920s, like when I was about 3
Yes.
or 4.
Yeah.
That would be around 1928 or so. That was
Yeah.
bad times, actually. It
29,
was
yeah.
the start of the Depression.
Yeah.
And was he retired then, or was he looking for work, or?
Yeah,
he
I think he looked for work. He was a healthy man, and he was a carpenter.
He was also a carpenter?
Sure.
So that's interesting. That meant that Saul, who was a carpenter, sort of took after his father. Maybe did he learn the trade in Europe?
Yes, Europe, sure.
So he was a carpenter in Europe. And the father, was he able to get work here, or?
I think he did work a little.
Hmm. But how long did he stay in this country?
After his wife's death,
Yeah.
after his wife's death, where he lived, a woman lived, a widow, and they talked together, and he told her that he has a big nice house in Bialystok, and she agreed to go back to Poland with him, and he went back to Poland.
This was Russia.
This was before the Second World War.
Oh, it was Poland
It was-
then.
No, it was Russia.
Hmm.
In that time it was already Poland.
Hmm.
Poland.
So he left and went back.
Yes, he left him. He went back there.
You know, the one thing I remember about him?
If you
Well,
remember about it, you
There's
took
one thing I
you took-
remember.
pictures with you.
Well, that's something, we still have those pictures, but
Yeah,
he also gave me a present one time. You
I
know
don't-
what it was?
I don't remember.
I think it was a gun. You know, like a cowboy gun.
That's a terrible thing.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember. I never gave you a gun because I was against it.
Well,
And I think maybe I don't know.
well, you know what I remember?
Maybe if
you
you
know what
bought
I-
it.
What I remember, Pop, is that he gave it to me, and you made me give it back to him, and you told him that he shouldn't give me guns.
That's right. Could be.
Do you
So
remember that?
no, I don't remember.
Well, I think
It could have been because you could have remembered. A child could remember things, but it's very important to him.
to me.
A gun.
Uh-huh.
I never gave a gun to.
Well, it wasn't a real gun, of course.
It doesn't have a gun. A play. What do you call it?
A toy gun.
A toy gun. So what else?
So, I think, does that sort of describe Lily's family? I think her brothers and their
Yeah.
children, to
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
extent that we remember. Perhaps you can get the names of the Saul's children, and maybe we'll
Of Lipski's children.
Lipski's or Saul's also, you know.
I haven't got it yet.
You might ask them the next time
I
you
will.
talk to them.
I'll even recommend him to make a trip. He could do it. He would be here a week, a couple of. He would go home.
Well, let's see. What else? Is there something else
I
we
think
should?
he had a disappointment coming once to Rita, and he was walking around there, and somehow she didn't. accepted him in a nice way.
Well, I don't think, probably she was busy, you know, Rita teaches and she's not always home, and maybe he
No, this
felt that he
this was
didn't have
not-
enough to do.
I think this was not the reason. I think she had something like a grievance. I think she asked him for an uncle. I don't remember.
Mm.
In other words, like
You
he
mean that
wasn't
she,
interested.
I see, that she felt that she hadn't known him very well,
Yeah,
and
she had a grievance like that.
well, maybe he thought that she had a grievance, not that she really had one. Maybe that was just an impression he had.
He never told me that,
Hmm. That's
but
what
she
you.
told me.
Oh,
I listen. I wouldn't be positive in it. When I'll see her, I'll ask her again.
hmm. Okay. Well, let's
That's
see.
all.
That's all. Well, I think we've pretty well covered Lily's family, and I guess we've talked about your family. You know, we've talked about Uncle Izzy and Uncle Frank. Maybe we could mention something about Uncle Izzy's and Uncle Frank's children. Although I know them, so I suppose
Yes.
you're not telling me a great deal.
No. Mm.
Okay, Uncle Izzy has a daughter, Rita, who married Joe, the Carlsteins.
You know him very good.
Sure.
He looked into you, whatever you said, he looked up to you like he admired you, you know.
He did?
Oh, yes,
I
by the
didn't know
wedding.
that.
I noticed that.
Well,
Pictures and everything.
maybe I must have said something.
Oh, you was talking a lot.
I talked a lot at the wedding. This is at Kathy's wedding.
Kathy's wedding.
Yeah, it's too bad that Joe died not too long after that.
Terrible thing. Such a young man and such a wonderful, good child to their parents, and a good father to the children, and
He
a very
was
good husband.
A very nice fellow. They visited us once
Very nice.
in California.
It couldn't be better. And he died to 48 years.
Hmm. That's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy. I think the father is sick, the mother is sick. They have one daughter there,
Hmm.
and I met her.
The Carlsteins you're talking about.
Constance, yeah. They have one daughter, a married one. She has 2 children. And
Well,
Sandy had his
you're talking about
birthday. Yeah,
Uncle Izzy's other daughter, Faye
yeah,
Sandig, and
yeah.
who's married to Murray Sandig, and they
That's
just celebrated his 50th birthday,
Yes,
and you
that's right.
attended the party, as I recall.
I was there, yes.
And you had a chance to see all the relatives.
Yes.
Well, I understand that the Carlstein children are doing very well. They have a daughter who's an engineer, right? Rita Carlstein has a daughter who's married to an engineer, and she's an engineer. Aren't they both working in Connecticut?
I don't. Oh, you mean Rita's children?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that is a beautiful girl, and she married a very nice young man, and he's Christian, but he looks like a good rabbi with a whiskey. And very beautiful, very
Oh.
nice.
That's nice.
I wish Lily shouldn't get a voice.
Hmm.
Kind.
And they have a son also,
They have a son.
who's now at Cornell,
Yes,
I think.
he goes in Cornell, and he plays music, plays piano and other instruments.
What's his name? I forget. You're not the only one who forgets names, Pop. Oh well, how about the Sandigs? They have some children too. Did you meet them?
Sandik has a boy that must be around 22 or 23 years, and he said, I think he learned about computers. I don't know if he finished college or so. And his daughter also went to college. She's working in a bank.
Mm-hmm. Uncle Frank has had 2 sons and a daughter.
Yes.
Anita married Abe Cooperman,
That's right.
and she died.
She died.
And however, they have 2
And
children.
she
They have
left
several,
3 children.
3 children.
Yes. One I know is married,
Mm-hmm.
and the boy is with the father, and I hope he's going to give him a good education.
The daughter who's married, is she living in Los Angeles?
I was told by Uncle Harold that she lives in Los Angeles somewhere, and they try in business. I don't know where they live.
Well, I would be interested in knowing. When
All
you
right.
see Harold, why don't you ask him
That's
to
right.
drop me
I'll see him.
the address?
I'll ask him.
Harold, incidentally, is Harold Mirels, Frank's
Mirels,
Mirels.
by changing the name.
Uh-huh. And he has another, the other son was
Howie,
Howie. And Howie
how you
is,
graduated for public parks, and he's teaching.
Mhm. Well, Harold was very nice to you, didn't he? He drove you to the airport for this visit.
Well, as long he wanted to do it, it doesn't matter if I appreciate it or not. He was glad to do it.
Well, I was very...
Not only this time, any time when it's necessary to go somewhere. As you know, I don't drive a car. He comes and picks me up and brings me back.
That's very
He's
nice.
very nice.
They live not too far from you.
No, they don't live far from me.
Now, how far, do you know?
Well,
Do you know where they live?
yes. They live, I think, in the cooperative houses that it used to be built by, I would say, they used to call them,
The Amalgamated?
no.
There were other
Communist.
co-ops, I remember.
They called them, they were not, never, they weren't communists, but they were people, progressive people, and they got a builder that they built up a big project of houses there,
But that
near
was...
the Botanical Garden
Uh-huh.
in New York.
But that was a long time
Very
ago.
beautiful.
But I'm
To
sure...
tell you the truth, I made out an application in that time, but I backed out. And in that place, I went a partner. Instead of to pay in there, I went partner with Udall Levine, which was a brother-in-law, and we bought a nice 3-family house
That's on Ward Avenue.
on Warden.
So you mean like in the...
1026 Warden.
Yeah, so in the 1920s, you, instead of
Mm.
moving into these
Yeah.
cooperative houses, you instead bought your own house.
I thought it's better for me.
Well, that was a nice place. I remember living there. It was what we would call the suburbs now. It was sort of country-like.
It's still there like a suburb, but they build up big houses on the other side, a few houses.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was a project or something.
Well, you lived for many years on Honeywell Avenue, actually. You know, after you
That's right.
married Mother Fanny, and
This was the first place I took over an apartment of 4 rooms. In that time it was very hard to get rooms. But the people I lived with, they moved. He accepted a job as a super or something else, and I took over the rooms.
when was this?
That is before I married.
Uh-huh, I see. So you were living in a 4-room apartment.
Yeah, so
Where was that?
who was born there?
Oh, you're talking about suburban place?
Suburban place.
Oh, that's when
826, something like that.
826 suburban place. Okay, so you're going back to when I was born then.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, let's see, you lived on Honeywell for quite a few years, right? You lived there almost...
Oh yes, after mother's death, I remarried Fanny Trotner.
Trotner. Is Trotina the way it was pronounced?
Trotner, all right. Trotner.
Well, yeah, we know lots of Trotners, like Hyman, you know, all her brothers and
Yes.
sisters, and
And I think she did a very good job for me. Not for me, for herself too, because she considered the children as her own,
she was a very
the
good
2
mother.
children. And she was very good till the end of her life. She even left the amount of $10,000, 10,300 and something, besides bonds to the children, to both of you each, each 10,300.
And that's
That
money,
was the whole amount that she had.
and it was money she earned by working. She was in the garment industry, right?
Something like that.
Well, that neighborhood was a very nice neighborhood when we lived there, but
Honeywell, it was very nice. It was near the park, the Bronx Zoological Park, and any time we could go in and enjoy the park. Nice, good fresh air and so on. Actually, we didn't talk much about Fanny.
well, maybe we should.
We should, because she turned out to be a very good, devoted mother. She knew she hadn't got a mother, and she hoped she came to your wedding. She married off Rita, and she was very good.
Well, we also, that gave us another family, you know, the Trotners. We have a lot of relatives there.
Yeah, well, naturally she has a big family. She had 4 brothers, all married, no, 3 married, one is single.
Uncle Hyman
And
is
that
the...
single man, he always lived not far from us. And she was very good to him, and she used to make for him suppers and holiday when to have with us.
I remember the fact, he in fact lived with us when,
No, that was the beginning.
at the beginning.
He moved out because we didn't have enough place.
But he had a room near us so that he could eat.
Yes, yes. He had a room near us, near Bronx Park, and
He's now living in Rockaway, in sort of
not in Rockaway.
not Rockaway, at
Long Beach.
Long
in
Beach.
in a hotel which elderly people live,
Mhm.
retired people.
How is he
And
these
he
days?
is old and sick, and he wishes to die, but I hope he's going to live
How old?
another couple of
How
years.
how old is
He's
he
not-
now?
He is 92 years.
Hmm. You say he's sick, or
That's what he says. He's sick. He walks very bad. If he would have listened to me, to try to go in a hospital, because he has Medicare, and he's entitled to go into a hospital. But the only thing he has to do is to call a doctor, and the doctor should send him to a hospital. Because to go to a hospital, they wouldn't take you in. Only by doctor's recommendation.
well, the question.
I advised him to do it,
Well, why?
but
What
he doesn't do it.
would the hospital do something for him that he isn't getting
Oh,
now?
I'm positive they would treat his feet because he
Send him a letter once a year around Christmas time,
yeah.
and we used to send him dates and things when we went to Palm Spring, but he wrote us and said that we shouldn't send it. I never knew why. I mean, maybe they didn't agree with him.
When
know,
you
like-
are in a place like a hotel, you don't need any other things because they give you.
Mhm.
In other words, he could think you have an expense and he couldn't enjoy it like he would if he wouldn't be there.
Why couldn't he enjoy it? You mean they?
Because he has he has the meals and everything prepared for him.
Mhm.
And actually, he thinks that it's an effort on your side to do it.
Well,
So I told you not to.
we just wanted him to know that we were thinking
That's
of
very
him.
nice. Why did you send him a box?
You know, we sent it to you. Remember when
Yeah.
every year when we went to
Yeah.
Palm Springs,
Yeah.
on our way back, we would stop off at this place that had these special dates and figs and things like that, and we'd send them out to you and to Uncle Hyman. I think they're the only two we sent them to.
All right.
Well, let's see. Also, Mother.
How could we talk more about Mother? I remember when Mother died, we called on you and Rita, and you both came
Mhm.
to the funeral. Did you live in that time in Cleveland or
No, in California.
California? That was very nice.
Well, it's something I certainly
That's
should do. That's not the least I could do.
all right.
So
yes,
then-
we didn't mention that she never had a child. You see,
Mhm.
that's why she was.
Well, we were essentially her children.
Yeah.
I mean, I was maybe like 12 years or 11 years old when
No,
let's
no.
see, let me think. I was in the
Maybe
6th
10.
grade.
10 years, 11 years,
All right, 11.
maybe 11.
Yeah, so Rita was like 8 then, so we were still pretty
Maybe
young.
maybe less than 8. You're
Mhm.
mistaken. Rita was not 8
Mhm.
yet. She just started school.
Should we mention the fact that before you remarried, that Rita and I were living with the Webbers? I don't know whether we mentioned that,
No, we didn't mention
but it was Pauline Weber
Pauline Webb.
and Eddie Weber,
That's right.
and they had a friend who lived with them. Do you remember his name? It was Eddie Dorfman.
That's right, Eddie Dorfman.
He was an accountant.
Go ahead, put it in.
Well, we got it in, Pop. He was a very nice fellow. They both, was a very nice family. And Eddie,
And she asked me, not she, they both asked
Pauline
me,
Weber.
Paul and Weber and Mr. Weber, Eddie, they wanted me, I should give him a child, a son. In other words,
We were.
give him a
They
child.
wanted to adopt us.
Adopt you, and I should forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I told them that I have only 2 children. If I would have more, I wouldn't do that. And they got a girl from an orphanage. I think she had a mother. I saw her once visiting the child, and she gave away this girl to the
Weber's.
Webbers,
Mm-hmm.
and she was there till she got married. And in that time, after her marriage, the Mrs. Pauline got sick and she died.
She had a stroke.
She had a stroke, and she couldn't talk, and that's how.
Couldn't she become blind also?
Then she became blind, and
Mm-hmm.
that was the end.
No, I
And
remember.
I don't know if he ever remarried.
I remember we visited.
And also, what was the name of that fellow?
Eddie.
Also Eddie, he was young,
Mm-hmm.
and he got a cancer. He was smoking a lot. He was a very smart young man, but he wasn't smart enough to give up smoking, and this killed him.
I remember one time we visited the 2 Eddies after Pauline had died. You arranged for me to visit them in a park.
Yeah?
Yes, and this was while Eddie Dorfman had cancer already, and he was probably terminally ill at that time.
Hmm.
Do you remember that? Well, he looked well, but he was very sick.
So
He was an accountant,
yes, he was an accountant.
and
Eddie
Weber was
was a driver for a big bakery.
Mhm.
He was a baker.
You know what the name of the bakery was?
Do you remember?
Yeah, it's Pechter's.
Pechter's, yeah.
And they made very good bread, and he would bring the bakery home.
Sure.
I remember also going, the truck drivers would have picnics, and when we were kids,
So they
they would
took you
take us
along.
to the picnic.
Yeah. I bet he was riding in a truck. No?
Well, I don't think so.
No.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't think so. No, he wouldn't ride in a truck.
Well, let's see. Mother Fanny's family. We still have Uncle Louis died, right?
Yeah. Uncle
and
Max
Aunt,
died.
and Aunt Bella is still living, and they have 2 sons, David Trotner, right?
Yeah.
And Moishe Trotner.
That's right.
Moishe's living in California, and we've
Yeah.
seen him once since he got here.
That's very foolish.
Well,
You should.
we
the only thing
tried.
you call up. Maybe he himself thinks it's wrong.
Mhm. Well, we correspond with David Trotner, and around Christmas time, and we keep up with their family, and we enjoy that correspondence. Pop. Let's see. Mother Fanny also has Uncle Zygmunt as a brother, and he has a son Saul.
Yes.
And you see a lot of Saul, don't you?
Yes, Saul is mine accountant, and I see him often.
Mm-hmm. Did you go on a trip with
And
him?
Saul's on a trip.
Yeah, didn't you go visit somebody?
Oh, we visited Hyman in the hotel last summer.
Uh-huh. Who went
And
along?
I actually didn't like the place. And I advised Hyman to get out from there and move around New York.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of homes for older people around New York.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So you tried to get him to leave. You told us, you suggested he should go to a hospital, actually.
No, I liked him to move away from there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say if he would go to a home for elderly people around New York, I would be able to visit him. Like this, it's very hard to go there in Long Beach.
Mm-hmm. Also, there's Uncle Max and Sylvia. And Uncle Max, I understand, died several years ago. Is that right?
Yes, she died.
Mm-hmm. They lived in the same house as
That's
us
right.
on Honeywell Avenue.
Yeah,
And he was a
waiter.
a waiter for a caterer for weddings.
Yes, Garfinkel.
Garfinkel.
Yeah.
And he would always bring home strudel and other good, excellent things that you would get at weddings. We really enjoyed that. And their son?
He was a very good man.
Mm-hmm.
Their son, he's an assistant superintendent in a school in
What's his
City.
name, Pop?
His name is David.
Just like there's two David Trotners. One is
David
Uncle
Trotner, yeah.
Uncle Max's son, and the other is Uncle Louis' son.
Yeah.
So Uncle Max's David is a teacher in the co-op.
Yes. And an assistant to the superintendent.
Mm-hmm. And they have some nice children too.
Oh, he has very nice two children. A son that goes to college, and not in New York, but out of New York, and a beautiful girl.
Mm-hmm. You know, I remember
Also, she is very nice.
when they lived in the same house as us, I mean in the same building on
That's
Honeywell
right.
Avenue,
Yeah.
you know, Rita and I were maybe like 10 and 13, and he may have been like 5 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a bit younger, but he liked to play with us.
Yes.
And we didn't like to play with him because he was so young. So we would play hide and seek. And we told him to hide and that we would look for him.
I don't think.
You don't remember that?
I don't think it's.
No, but that's true. But the thing is,
Yeah,
Pop,
it's true, but I wouldn't take it in.
you wouldn't
It's
want to
not
record it.
a-
Well, it's amusing to think about
Children, it's children's play.
it. Okay, but the fact is that we would tell him to hide,
Yes.
but we didn't start looking for him right away. After a while, when he became suspicious, we would then say, okay, we're looking, and so forth. So now he's grown and he has college-age children.
That's right. It doesn't stay in a place. Life is moving.
Mm-hmm. So who else? Did we miss any other brothers? Zygmunt?
Yes,
three
Uncle
brothers, Zygmunt, Louis.
Uncle Zygmunt lives in a house on a very high floor. His son tried to persuade him to move on a lower, but he wants to live in the same rooms where he lived and his wife lived, and he's a widower for a long time. And
He's
he
also-
walks up such a high, maybe on the fourth or fifth floor.
It's a walk-up apartment,
Yeah.
no elevators. And he's like on the fourth or fifth floor.
Yeah.
How's the neighborhood where he lives?
He lives in the Bronx. In the Bronx, everywhere is no good. Except there are still some two places like Harlem Bay section and what is the other? Marshall Parkway. There is still a Jewish population there, but the rest, they're running away because they couldn't exist and live there.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. I just want to make one comment about Uncle Zygmunt, that when he visited, he'd always bring a little present for us. You know what it was?
Baked cookies.
Right, because that's his specialty.
Yes. He baked it himself very good.
Well, you were talking about how people have to run away, as you say. Do you remember the last few years? You continued to live in Honeywell after Mother died. And I would visit you from Cleveland and then later from while we were in Cleveland we visited. While Mother was alive, in fact, the neighborhood was getting fairly Puerto Rican, and sort of was running down. And then after Mother died, it even got worse. And I remember that I felt very uncomfortable walking from the subway to your house. It was about 6-7 blocks. I'd have my suitcase, and it wasn't the kind of an area in which you would really feel very comfortable. Were you concerned about your safety when you lived there in those days?
Everyone who lived in these sections, not only there, even on the Concourse now, which it was a beautiful place to live. The people are afraid to go out in the night time. They are absolutely afraid for their safety.
So what did you tended to go out during the day and not at night?
That we all did. And even when you was in the house, you wasn't safe.
Actually, as the neighborhood changed, a lot of people moved out, but other people stayed. There was always a small remnant of people still there.
But from that section, I think nearly all the people, the Jewish people, moved out because it was impossible. When you walked in the street, they followed you, the Puerto Ricans, the blacks, and you wasn't safe.
Well, by the time you had left, were there any people in the building that you still were from the old group?
Tenants?
Yeah.
Just one couple, white people, remained on the ground floor. They had a sick son, and the mother took care of him. That couple remained for a time, but they also moved out.
So you were practically the last white person to leave the building?
No. Maybe.
You were waiting, and you had bought an apartment in Co-op City, but it took several years for you to be able to move in.
Yes, a few years.
How long did you have to wait?
Maybe 2 years, maybe 3, I don't remember.
Well, I remember it because I was feeling that you should move, and even I thought that perhaps even in the meantime, you should move somewhere else while you were waiting. But I'm glad you finally got
It
out.
would have been the same thing. If I would move somewhere else, it would be in the Bronx. So it would take another half a year. It would be the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you find Co-op City?
I have the most praise for it because it's a beautiful section and it's very nice to live there. And the only thing is that little by little people come in from outside. I mean, those kind of people, youngsters, that they give trouble. Some of them get arrested right away. And just a couple of weeks ago, a young man from Brooklyn, a black man, he was about 16 years. He went up to a house. I don't know why he just went up to this house or to another, and he killed a woman of 83 years.
Hmm.
Why did he do that?
And he robbed her. Why he did it? If he would have sense, he wouldn't do it. And they captured him right away because he was wearing a suitcase. And when the police told him to open, they found a lot of things that he took from that house, even whiskey.
So what you're saying is that people are coming in from outside Co-op City. And
Sure.
they're committing
happens,
crimes.
and they commit crimes.
Well, this could happen anywhere.
Yeah,
This happens.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't happen.
really, if people were normal, they wouldn't do things like that.
Jerry has just
You're right.
joined us. Hi, Jerry.
Hello, Dad.
How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm talking to my father about some of the things
About the
that's
past.
happened to him and happened to me and our family.
He takes it on.
He takes it down on tape.
That's right.
Well, let's see. Did you say while you were in Honeywell Avenue that your apartment was broken into?
Yes, it was broken in once. When I came home, a lot of things were taken. And they got 2 suitcases that I had there. They filled it up and they left.
What?
Well,
I had a little safe with quarters, old ones.
Mm-hmm.
And
They took
they
that.
they took it.
They didn't get much
God.
whiskey though from you, did
I
they?
had no whiskey there yet. But they took,
Did you ever get mugged or physically attacked?
I was mocked 5 times.
5 times?
I was mocked 5 times.
Is this in
Is
New
this-
York?
Did they?
Yeah.
Did they physically?
Physically,
Bronx?
yes. Once I came home from work. After work, I went into a big store, what do you call it, the
Supermarkets?
supermarket. Bought milk and bought other things. And when I started to go home, a couple of young boys, black boys, they followed me. And when I came in the hall, they ran in right away. They didn't let me go. And they took the things and threw it down that I was carrying. And they one got a hold on me with the 2 big hands. He was a tall boy. And my glasses he broke.
Mm-hmm.
And they started to hit me on my head.
Why?
So I should fall down. If I would fall down, they take off my pants. That was a system that they had, because they thought money was kept in the pens.
Uh-huh.
So they wouldn't have time to go over the pockets. So if they hit me and I fall down, I
Did
faint.
you fall down for him?
I did not. But I was lucky. While he was holding my eyes in my mouth closed, I made like this, ooh, 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 something like that.
Uh-huh.
And the neighbor, there was an Irish couple on the first floor. And she heard it. And she opened the door. As soon as she came to the door and opened
They
it,
left.
they ran away, all of them.
Hmm.
And
That
you,
Well, that was lucky.
and you were there without your pants on?
Eh?
No,
Were you
they
there without your pants
they
on?
hadn't taken his
I
pants
didn't
off.
take it because the only damage that I had that time is my eyeglasses.
Mhm. Well, you're lucky because you don't know what could have happened
Really, to your head?
by the
It could have
time.
happened that the glass should go in my
Your
eyes
eyes.
too, but I was lucky that just the glasses were broken.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, you were also mugged other times.
Yes.
What were the other situations like?
Once it was by the daytime. I went home with Uncle Hyman because we always kept together when we go home. So if one goes, he wouldn't go to make me hold up.
Uh-huh.
So we both went together, and one of the two blacks went after us. I think one was the son of a super in this neighborhood, and the two of them, Jaime made such a big noise. He wanted that people should open the door.
Uh-huh.
Help us.
Were you in the hallway then?
In the hallway, yes.
In the same our building.
Always
The
went
same building.
in the same building.
It's always in the
They
hallway.
always went after you, and they tried to get you in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And we both screamed, but one was so aggressive that he came over to my pocket and he cut it with something. He cut it up, he tore it or something. And he got a hold on a little money change, which I always kept, and tokens that you put in the subway.
Mm-hmm.
You always have it
So
in
the
the
whole
pocket.
thing is just a few,
Sure.
like
It was
50
a couple of-
cents or whatever, you know, it wasn't much
It was
money.
a couple of dollars.
Uh-huh.
Sure, a token was also
Okay,
least
so the
that
point is that they would
So he
do this
took
for
this-
almost nothing.
and we were screaming, and they ran away. And then the super's sister called up the police while we were screaming. And the police came later a little in the hall. And they asked us if we could identify him. I knew from experience that they wouldn't do anything to them. I'll only expose myself to them and I'll let it go. I said, I don't think I'll be able because it took just a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that one I was positive,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't want, and this is very bad because that's why but sooner or later they'd be arrested.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't do him anything.
Mm-hmm. So this happened.
Another time, I was in the bank paying the telephone bill or utility bills, and a little boy, a black one, around 10 or 12 years, was watching for somebody who gets change in dollars.
He was in the bank?
he was in the bank, and a big fellow was outside,
Uh-huh.
and he followed when you went out, so he followed you and showed the other fellow that he should make the job. So I walked on Southern Boulevard, which you know where it is.
Yeah.
And I walked till home, but I noticed that they go after me. So I understood that the little boy told the other fellow, and
Mm-hmm.
the only thing I knew, if I'll go in the hall by me, they'll get me,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they'll hurt me, they'll rob me. So I went into a bank in the corner, the public bank, on the corner of 180th Street.
Uh-huh. It's another bank.
A different bank,
Yeah.
and I even told a black fellow who was like a policeman there,
A
but
guard.
it seems a guard. He says he has no time, but I saw a fellow coming, but also a Jewish man. So I started to talk with him, and I told him he should be careful, because that fellow who sits there with a little boy
Uh-huh.
is going after me.
They were
And
both,
and
they were,
I'm a-
they were in the bank at this time?
I-
Did they
I
follow
thought-
you into the bank?
On the bank, on the bank,
On the
on the
outside.
benches outside,
Uh-huh.
on the boulevard.
Yeah.
So I told that fellow, so he said, listen, I have a car, I'll take you to your house.
Uh-huh.
Before they look around, you wouldn't be here.
Uh-huh.
So he took me to my house, and he went away with the car.
That was lucky. That was lucky.
Hello.
Lily has just come in. I'm taping a conversation with my father.
That's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Another time, I walked up in my hall, and that woman that lives on the second floor was down there. And suddenly I see 2 young people. This was white people, Puerto Ricans. They were following me, and they
This
come
was-
up on the 3rd floor.
Uh-huh.
They say to me, could you give me a quarter? I knew that this is just a pretense. And I knew that I had people downstairs. So I started to scream on them. What do you want, to hold me up? And you want me to give you quarters? And I started to holler.